Hello there, everybody. It's great to see you today. I hope that you are having a super special, awesome, amazing Tuesday. My name is Brendan Thomas Marrett, and today we're going to continue on with our survey of First Samuel. And today we're going to look at chapter 20, which is a very tearful and beautifully written farewell between some of the most famous individuals in any bromance in the Bible, which would be Jonathan and David. So this story, a lot of historians think, happened in 1013 BC, at which point David is in and around 27 years old. Alright, it says, Then David fled from Naioth at Ramah. I went to Jonathan and asked, What have I done? What's my crime? How have I wronged your father that he's trying to kill me? Good question. Whew. In our last video, Jonathan was acutely aware that Saul wanted David dead. However, Jonathan had talked him down and was under the impression that Daddy Dearest was like, okay, fair enough. I was in the wrong. I'm over it. He doesn't actually realize that Saul is still trying to kill David. Never, Jonathan replied. You're not going to die. Look, my father doesn't do anything, great or small, without letting me know. The great, I understand from a king to a prince. The small sounds to me like Saul overshares. Interpret that as you will. Why would he hide this from me? It isn't so. Cop yourself on, you're having a laugh. Someone's telling you porky pies. You've just gotten a little bit confused, David. But David took an oath and said, Your father knows very well that I have found favour in your eyes. And he said to himself, Jonathan must not know this, or he will be grieved. Yet as surely as the Lord lives and as you live, there is only a step between me and death. And that is the truth, okay? Because all these times when Saul's been throwing spears at him and he's had to take a sidestep here, a sidestep there, or jump here, shrink there, jump there, drop to his knees, turtle style. You know, it's all about, or turtle style, frog style, like a leapfrog. The threat of death is absolutely palpable here for David. Jonathan said to David, Whatever you want me to do, I'll do for you. Wow. So David said, Look, tomorrow is the new moon feast, and I'm supposed to dine with the king. But let me go and hide in the field until the evening of the day after tomorrow. If your father misses me at all, tell him, David earnestly asked my permission to hurry to Bethlehem, his hometown, because an annual sacrifice is being made there for his whole clan. If he says, Very well, then your servant is safe. If he's okay with me being absent, you know that it's grand, we're in good terms, it's all in my head. I'm telling porky pies, I'm lying to you. But if he loses his temper, you can be sure that he's determined to harm me. He wanted me within reach of his arm so that he could kill me. As for you, show kindness to your servant, for you have brought him into a covenant with you before the Lord. If I'm guilty, kill me yourself. If this is me trying to sow seeds of dissension in the royal line to destroy you from within, just run me through with your own spear or sword. Why hand me over to your father? Never, Dave, Jonathan said. If I had the least inkling that my father was determined to harm you, wouldn't I tell you? I'm telling you, it's all in your head. Someone has lied to you. There's no way that this is going on and I have no comprehension of it. David asked. Who will tell me if your father answers you harshly? Come, Jonathan said. Let's go out into the field. So they went there together. Now, the love between these two guys is just absolutely amazing. And it should be noted that David's name translates as beloved. And, Jonathan is the long name for John. But their friendship is actually a prophetic narrative, a prophetic picture of a later on friendship between Jesus and his youngest disciple, John. Because Jesus is the beloved of the Father. On the day of his water baptism by John the Baptist, it says in Matthew 3:17, and a voice from heaven said, This is my Son, whom I love, my beloved. With him I am well pleased. And 14 chapters later, at the Transfiguration, Jesus is on a mountain, talking to the raptured Elijah and the dead Moses. How? Well, he's standing there about 2,000 years ago. But at the same time, because of this, he's lived in eternity and he's got this timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly stuff thing going on. He's also talking to Elijah on the mountain after he's run away from Queen Jezebel. And at the same time, he's also talking to Moses on Mount Sinai, on Mount Horeb, who's up there for a month and a half, 40 days and 40 nights, to get the 10 Commandments and all this stuff. So all this is happening at the same time. Moses is talking to Jesus, at the same time Elijah is talking to Jesus, even though Moses is long dead, and even though Elijah's long raptured, the disciples see Jesus talking to both of them, backwards into time. And if you think that's all nuts, that's okay. We'll look at it in more detail in another video. But that's just to whet your appetite. But also in this chapter, Matthew 17, verse 5, while he was still speaking, a bright cloud enveloped them, and a voice in the cloud said, This is my Son, whom I love. With him I'm well pleased. Listen to him. I wonder if God the Father is doing the same thing. If perhaps that portal he opened, if he only spoke once, but John the Baptist heard it, and then Peter, James and John heard it. Who knows? Wow, Brendan, what are you talking about? That's okay. Don't worry about it. Future videos, guys. Future videos. So yeah, effectively we've got a David and a Jonathan, a beloved and a Jonathan. We've got a Jesus and a John, my beloved son and a John. That's my point for today. Alright, verse 12. Then Jonathan said to David, I swear by the Lord, the God of Israel, that I will surely sound out my father by this time, the day after tomorrow. Great movie, The Day After Tomorrow. I haven't seen it in ages, but a great movie. If he is favourably disposed toward you, will I not send you word and let you know? If you're making all this up, you're just confused. You're reading things that aren't being written. You're hearing things that aren't being said. I'll clear it up. I'll let you know. I'll put your mind at ease. But if my father intends to harm you, which I don't think is the case, but if, may the Lord deal with Jonathan, may the Lord deal with me, be it ever so severely, if I do not let you know and send you away in peace. May the Lord be with you as he has been with my father. I would say may the Lord be with David better and more long-lasting than what's all. But show me unfailing kindness like the Lord's kindness as long as I live, so that I may not be killed. And do not ever cut off your kindness from my family, not even when the Lord has cut off every one of David's enemies in the face of the earth. So Jonathan is here saying, David, I know that you are the rightful king of Israel. I have no expectation of sitting on the throne after my father. I recognize there's something in your life. And he recognized it when he first spoke to him after Goliath's death. Now, David, yes, had been doing deliverance ministry on Saul beforehand. Maybe Jonathan had already met him, but that was the moment when they first spoke, and Jonathan stripped and put his tunic on David. That's the first moment that we know that this bromance was definitely in existence, if not born. And he said, there's something special about you. There's something princely and regal and royal and kingly about you. And now he's saying, God's going to put you where he needs to put you. He's going to put you on that throne. But just remember us. Don't do anything crazy or wicked and just destroy my family line. Yeah? Spare us a thought every now and again. I wonder if he really believed or understood that his father Saul was one of those enemies that God would cut off from the face of the earth. Probably not. Verse 16. So Jonathan made a covenant with the house of David, saying, may the Lord call David's enemies to account. Again, did he realize his father was top of the list? And Jonathan had David reaffirm his oath out of love for him, because he loved him as he loved himself. Then Jonathan said to David, tomorrow is the new moon feast. You will be missed, because your seat will be empty. The day after tomorrow, toward evening, go to the place where you hid when this trouble began, and wait by the stone easel. So again, go back to the place where I first came to you when I pacified my father the first time. Or at least appeared to pacify him. I will shoot 3 arrows to the side of it, as though I were shooting at a target. Then I will send a boy and say, go, find the arrows. If I say to him, look, the arrows run this side of you, bring them here. Then come. Because as surely as the Lord lives, you're safe, and there's no danger. But if I say to the boy, look, the arrows are beyond you, as though the boy just, can't see them. Maybe he's a blind boy. Then you must go, because the Lord has sent you away. And about the matter you and I discussed, remember, the Lord is witness between you and me forever. So no matter what happens, you and I are good. You and I are friends. You and I are BFFs. So David hid in the field, and when the new moon feast came, the king sat down to eat. He sat in his customary place by the wall opposite Jonathan, and Abner sat next to Saul. But David's place was empty. Saul said nothing that day, for he thought, something must have happened to David to make him ceremonially unclean. Surely he is unclean. Yeah, well, you're trying to convince yourself he's unclean in more ways than one, especially morally. But the next day, the second day of the month, David's place was empty again. Then Saul said to his son Jonathan, why hasn't the son of Jesse come to the meal, either yesterday or today? It's interesting that he's asking Jonathan and, not David's wife, that backstabbing hoe. Jonathan answered, David earnestly asked me for permission to go to Bethlehem. He said, John, let me go, because our family is observing a sacrifice in the town, and my brother has ordered me to be there. Typical Eliab, you know what I mean, right? If I find favor in your eyes, let me get away to see my brothers. Maybe he has a really bad relationship with them. Or rather, they have a bad relationship with him. Their choice, not his. That is why he has not come to the king's table. You're not being snubbed, Daddy-o. He just had to show up so his brothers would zip it and give him less grief. Saul's anger flared up at Jonathan and he said to him, "You son of a perverse and rebellious woman. Not how you thought that sentence was going to end as a Christian YouTube channel. Don't I know that you have sided with the son of Jesse to your own shame and the shame of the mother who bore you?" Really? The perverse and rebellious woman? Really? Is this woman still alive? Is she listening to this? "As long as the son of Jesse lives on this earth, neither you nor your kingdom will be established. Now send someone to bring him to me, for he must die." Tut, tut, tut. Why should he be put to death? What has he done? Jonathan asked his father. But Saul did what Saul does. He hurled his spear at him to kill him. No wonder Jonathan's throne wasn't going to be established. His own father tried to axe him. Then Jonathan knew that his father intended to kill David. Jonathan got up from the table in fierce anger. I bet he did. On that second day of the feast, he did not eat because he was grieved at his father's shameful treatment of David. Isn't that interesting? He didn't go to bed and sulk, "My daddy tried to kill me. Toxic masculinity." No. He's thinking of his best friend. And everything he's been through. And every struggle, every challenge that's still to come. In the morning, Jonathan went out to the field for his meeting with David. He had a small boy with him. He said to the boy, "Run and find the arrows I shoot." As the boy ran, he shot an arrow beyond him. When the boy came to the place where Jonathan's arrow had fallen, Jonathan called out to him, "Isn't the arrow beyond you?" Then he shouted, "Hurry! Go quickly! Don't stop!" The boy picked up the arrow. I'm sure he was incredibly confused and returned to his master, probably thinking, "Did he shoot another arrow? Did I miss one? Did he shoot one yesterday?" Because the boy didn't have a bold notion what was going on. Jonathan had kept him in the dark with all this. Then Jonathan gave his weapons to the boy and said, "Go, carry them back to town." After the boy had gone, David got up from the south side of the stone and bowed down before Jonathan 3 times with his face to the ground. Then they kissed each other and wept together. But David wept the most. Jonathan said to David, "Go in peace, for we have sworn friendship with each other in the name of the Lord, saying, 'The Lord is witness between you and me, and between your descendants and my descendants forever.'" Keep that in mind. We're going to come back to that a long time from now, but we'll come back to that one. Then David left, and Jonathan went back to the town.